what we will be trying to talk today is about building the domestic demand for blue foods in India. So, I'm Santhana Krishnan, founder president Society for Aquaculture Professionals. I'll be moderating this session. Since we are running short of time, I would like to straight away go ahead and call upon my eminent panel members here so that we can start with the discussion. So we need to finish by 5 o'clock to go for we have got one more session, then we need to go for the concluding session of the event also. Well, I would like to call upon Dr. Manoj Sharma, CEO of Mayank Farms. So Dr. Manoj is known for his Zingalala restaurant. Mr. Manoj, please. Then I would like to call upon Mr. Ravi Yellanki, Managing Director, Vaisakhi Biomer. Mr. Ravi, a technocrat, and come into aquaculture, builds series of hatcheries, farms, and also now into processing, both of them from the SAP. And they have been a very strong advocates of domestic marketing of Vanami, as well as general movement for the domestic one for the seafood. I will also like to call upon Mr. Kedarnath Reddy, Managing Director, Sashimi Foods. Mr. Kedarnath Reddy. It was very interesting to learn from him yesterday during the dinner meet. What are the initiatives and efforts they are doing in terms of marketing sashimi grade with top quality food and in a fresh grade food. So thanks for being here. So we can also learn a lot from you on that. The last one is Mr. Rajendra Talluri, Director. Please come. So from Godavari Cuts, we have a pleasure in having you here, so that we would like to learn more from you on the domestic side. What are the challenges and how we can go about it? So we have few objectives, especially. First thing is, everybody is talking about production. So yesterday in the dinner meeting, two things became very apparent. One, we were talking about with the MD of Amul. So we were talking about, when the shrimp problem is, we have to develop a cold store, how can you develop cold chains in villages and all that for distribution. So he was talking about their experience in promoting ice creams, because they said ice creams also have to be stored up in sub-zero temperatures, and we had challenges, but they made the product available. Then now, even in any villages, there are some cold store facilities and ice creams are available. So what he said was, first thing is, make the product available. Then you can look into your distribution and logistics. Similarly, we were also talking to Mr. Mahesh of Nekanti. He was here in the morning, also here. He suggested, when talking about so much of production, we should have processing. Until we process the product which is available for the market, which the product would never see its domestic markets. So apart from that, once we learn from these experience of mornings and afternoon speakers, we would like to first...
And agri, including aqua and pink revolution teams here. So we are in a startup company which is started in the year of 2020. And the idea of Godavari gets popped up in the mid of pandemic, where we have seen the scope to bring all the meat under one roof with some standards and hygienic conditions. From there, we have started our store, and since last 2.5 years, we are running 10 stores in the city of Hyderabad, and we want to expand more into the all corners of the city, and further our footprints will be in the major cities of Bangalore and Pune. So we take pride in we take pride in putting the fact that once the Godavari Cuts has been started, the consumption of seafood in and around areas of Hyderabad has been largely increased. Before that, it's only marel, mutton, and poultry, chicken. So once Godavari Cuts has been launched, we have made the awareness campaigns in the stores. What's the use and uses of consuming seafoods for freshwater fish. So largely people who are not that much educated with consuming of seafood, we have been made necessary campaigns to consume seafood as well as freshwater fish also. And apart from that, our last year sales of here I'm not talking about the revenues of I'm not talking about the revenues of prawns and maril, but the quantity of maril and prawns what we sold last year is about like 70 to 75 tons of maril what we sold in the stores of Godavari cuts, only of 5 stores. So when coming to shrimp sales, we have sold around 90 tons of shrimp in the last financial year. So we take pride in announcing these figures. Like our next year target would be doubling these quantities with the same stores and maybe adding 4 more stores in our next coming 3 to 4 months. So this is all about Godavari Kids, and we hope we'll be expanding soon to the more cities.
That's wonderful. So you mean to say, in terms of creating awareness,
Yes.
what do you think that in terms of success which you achieved in creating awareness? Is it to do with the food availability or the way you distribute it or the way you price it? Or how did you create this awareness for people to buy your product?
Yeah. Talking about the awareness, there are 3 key factors which I need to mention here. One is pricing, one is availability of fish in the fresh mode, and the third one is how to cook the fish. So many of the general meat lovers doesn't know how to cook the seafood, especially. For those kind of consumers, we started campaigns distributing the pamphlets, how to cook the seafood, which fish should be cooked in which manner. So based on these campaigns, people slowly started cooking in the formats which we started distributing, and slowly we got that repentant rate. So people used to come and tell, the pamphlets which we take earlier is very much like tastier. Before we don't know how to cook with white pamphlets or like anchovies, mackerel. They know the uses of mackerel and anchovies, but they don't know how to cook it. So by distributing the pamphlets, by creating some awareness in the recipes, by distributing the recipes, and as I told, we also keep an eye on the pricing of the products as well as the availability of freshness of the fish. These 3 to 4 key points help us a lot to increase the consumption of the marine fish in local.
Thank you. Mr. Ravi, I would like to draw your attention, maybe before you start, just introduce about yourself and about what you see as a visionary or your experience of creating awareness for our seafood. Please, thank you.
Yeah, I'm Ravi Kumar Yellanki. We operate shrimp hatcheries. We operate about 8 hatcheries. We produce about 5 to 6 billion fry. And we're also into shrimp farming. And recently we got into shrimp exports as well. So we call ourselves as a vertically integrated company. And definitely in future, we want to make our foray into domestic market. Domestic market is very, very essential for the growth of the industry. I mean, it has importance even for a hatchery operator because the world markets are stagnant today. They're not growing. There is glut of supply. And if we don't work on the domestic market, none of our capacities we can utilize, be it the hatcheries or farms or processing plants or feed mills. We have an installed capacity of 3 million for the feed mills, whereas they're able to utilize half the capacity or less than half the capacity. So as Mr. Tarun Sridhar was saying, the next Vaname movement could be domestic market, establishing domestic market. It is essential for each and every segment of the value chain, be it shrimp or fish. If you look at fish, I mean, we are with a population of 1.4 billion. Soon we're going to beat China. Come June, July, we're going to beat them. But they're consuming about 65 million tons of fish, whereas we are consuming only 12 tons of fish. So we need to bring in the awareness, and awareness precedes the demand. I mean, we cannot work on the demand. We need to work on the awareness first. So as an industry, we all need to work on the awareness first. There are a lot of good things about fish and shrimp. We need to talk the goodness of the shrimp and fish to the markets at large of the country. I mean, we need to talk about the health benefits. I mean, fish brings a whole lot of health benefits. Shrimp brings a whole lot of health benefits. And the market at large is not aware of that. We need to let the market know about it. So the first step is awareness. Then we need to work on the demand. Demand is there. It is dormant. I mean, we need to open it up. So awareness is the first step, I think. So the health benefits of fish and shrimp has to be, told to the market at large. How we can do that? We can approach it through opinion leaders. Who are the opinion leaders? Doctors, nutritionists, food bloggers, I mean, we need to reach out, the larger mass of the market through the opinion leaders. So we need to have, food festivals, which would include doctors, nutritionists, and food blog writers and all that. And we should let them know first. They would let the larger section of the society know about the health benefits. And the other thing is, shrimp, if you look at it, it's very versatile food. It can be cooked in different forms. I mean, you can make more number of dishes than chicken. So, we have good demographic dividend. We have earning population, 60%. I mean, everybody parties, and it goes very well with the party shrimp, So, we need to let the younger generation of our country know about the health benefits and the versatility. These are the things that we should work on, I think.
Thank you, Mr. Ravi. As always, your thoughts are very visionary. Appreciate that, you are touching on the health benefits of shrimp to create awareness. Even in the morning session, the opening session, we heard that in Telangana, the meat, the lamb or sheep, the meat production has gone up. So they said the consumption of...
Manoj Sharma, I'm basically like to call me farmer and then rest everything. So as you know that, this industry has gone leaps and bounds, and from somewhere about 7th position, we are almost now #1 shrimp producer in the world. And my journey as a student and then a professional and a farmer is parallel to the growth of industry, because I know scientifically we started in 1988, and then I was in graduation, BFSc. What I have seen, basically the biggest challenge is that we are handling a livestock, and as a farmer, we know every day is a big challenge. But as Swarna ma'am said, it's not about the production now, it's about the market and price realization. As you said, being in Gujarat, it has always been very tough for us. Even for our small hand-picked shrimp, we need to go to the Mumbai market. So it was there always in my back of mind that something has to be done for a local consumption. And what has really changed my mind was the 2006 floods in Gujarat, where we were unable to even reach our farm, and all peak of the harvesting was staggered, and literally farmers have to throw the shrimps on the roads. So since then, I was something planning, but taking out the gist of the entire meeting, that awareness creation, promotion, who will take this plan to the national level. So I was not that super rich, so I never, even that idea crossed my mind that I will run a national campaign. So let me be very honest, that I was a farmer, and the world starts from my home. So my survival was the biggest survival in the industry. If I survive, the farmer survives, the industry will definitely survive. So sir, I started with that thought that, when people are talking today, that India is facing problems with multi-fact, but production issues are there. So 30-40% problems are there with farmers. So what I have understood, my 30-40% of my 500 ton could be somewhere about 100 tons. So what is my failure in 100 ton means I have to harvest early, maybe 15 grams below, which cannot be exported. So I just had a very small plan, and then I surveyed that if you give shrimp to someone, as you said, give shrimp, doesn't know people, 90% people doesn't know how to cook it. They will cook like chicken and mutton and spoil the show. So I was having a budget of under 1 crore. So I thought the bed would be a restaurant, because I was working with big companies there earlier. West Coast has burned a lot of money. Even I have seen each and everybody who was planned to a national level has burned their heavy money in thing. So I started with Zingalala, a small concept with 45-50 sitting capacity. And I took it purposely starting in Gujarat, because 90% people are vegetarian there. And those who are actually fishermen will never go to a high restaurant. So it is 99% for me that consumers will not come. So it was a big challenge, and I started in 9 June 2019. And after 4 months, came the pandemic, and that was a lot of trial. But I will tell you very promisingly, the moment second wave finished, I could see so much follow-up to Zingalala. And Friday, Saturday, Sunday, people used to call me fighting for the table. So that has really, really made me very happy. Now, people coming to Zingalala, 4,000, 5,000, my client, they repeated every month, 2-3 times. So the day the pandemic over, I will tell you very proudly, though I produce close to 500-600 tons of shrimp and I have other businesses, but if you see the ratio of profit, over the investment. Even with 12 lakh, 13 lakh rupees monthly working capital in that small, modest operation, I earn handsomely 40-45% of the profit. So that is where, for me, it was never a national plan. Let me be very honest. Zingalala, compared to my farming, my 500 ton, out of that, if 100 ton I can secure my crash harvested, so I think I can be very safe, and I'm very proudly tell you, I'm very, very super happy with this model, which is very regional specific. And I think for me, and my message is very clear to farmers, if you plan a national game, no single company can achieve that. And that you require enormous funds. And those who tried that has really burned the fingers. So I think, and in last 30 years, I have never seen, I'm a farmer, let me tell this very honestly, none of the farmers has ever dedicated his 1% of pond for a domestic consumption. Last 7 years, ma'am, Tarun sir, I've been planning for winter crop, which is generally nobody plants in Gujarat because of the severe winter. But sir, I will tell you, in June, July, I tried to grow shrimp, 15, 60 count or 70 count, and I lost my money because there was a very bad rate. And now same thing I have repeated in the September, now in January, February, right now also talking message has come, I'm selling 60, 70 count of 350 and making 100 rupees a kilo. That is the model for me and Zingalala, and I think this, each and every farmer in a specific area, specific district. Now today from Odisha to Gujarat and even inland, as madam said, Punjab, Haryana, everywhere, shrimp is now almost available 80%, at least 60% of the country. And this module is for each and every farmer. So Zingalala is not for myself, it's for each and everybody who can be a regional specific.
Thank you very much. It's excellent. So we also know you as Kaun Banega Crorepati Manoj. Just you have informed us earlier what was Mr. Amitabh Bachchan's reaction to about shrimp. I would like to share with you, the participants also here, when you told him about shrimp, what was his reaction? We'd like to learn from him. That'd be interesting.
That was almost 13 years back. But after his accident, he turned vegetarian. But he told me his liking great about the shrimp and all this. But what really Bachchan Saab loved about shrimp farming is that how it can transform the poorest poor of the coastal fishes and the conversion of westland into the most profitable land. And that theme has really attracted him. And he was quite surprised to see that such kind of business also can create mass employment, food creation, and job opportunities in India and the coastal areas. That has thrilled him.
Thank you very much. Now to Mr. Reddy, we would like to know from you how in your experiences. While talking to you yesterday, you said we are talking about domestic marketing, like he said about the marl fish. We were quite so surprised and impressed with you marketing sashimi grade marls to US. So that must have taken a lot of awareness building that you can provide a sashimi grade marls in US. So with that sort of an experience, what do you think that we can do in domestic market in India? And what are the challenges you foresee on these ones here?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Kedarnath, and I am from Sashimi Foods Private Limited. We are based out of Bangalore. Close to 2 decades, we are into this fish and fishery product business. We have started with farming, then came into retailing, then value addition, then e-commerce, then last to exports. So we have got many failure stories on hand. A lot of time, money, energy was spent in this. So starting with trade and domestic in 2002 and distributing door to door since till 2008. 2008 value addition under the brand called Prawn Crunch till 2015. Again 2015 e-commerce. Since 2013 we started e-commerce. First with freshprawnsonline.com, then again buyfish.in. Then 2017 we entered into exports. So currently I will dwell on this building the domestic demand for this blue foods in India. So it's a very a novel idea. Domestic demand is such a high in terms of volume. We don't really see that in front of us. See, today we only see that fish is used for fish curry or fish fry. So similarly, if I conclave this to milk, so you can only have it through tea. No, may not be. So you have buttermilk, lassi, so many things. So fish has a protein, so we have to convert that in terms of volume, fish balls. So fish ball is a very easy source of protein, and then to everyone we can inculcate this to children. It should be easily available for snack or a main course. You go to IKEA, they charge us 250 rupees for 6 fish balls, which costs not even 40 bucks. And we are just, looking at them and then learning nothing. So I would like just to brief Telangana. Our intent is to be a capital of this inland fisheries, for especially tilapia. I think tilapia everyone is very much keen on. Next big thing we should be tilapia, like Venami, how we are all looking at it. Tilapia is an easily cultivable product, and it's a very good white meat fish. The whole US is depending on tilapia. And next is about marl. I think off late now, 2-3 years back, it was around 600 rupees for a live marl. Now it has dropped to 300. Thanks to the marl rare happening in Karnataka, Andhra parts and all those things. Then about sea bass and scampi. So those should be our products which we can target for Telangana. And much important thing is we see a very big missing link when the harvest happens. There is no single cube of ice available. So in this system, I urge our officials to deploy sufficient ice from the time it is being caught. So a natural economy is lost from there itself. If the product is so fresh, and say I can say sashimi grade when it is in water, when it's bought, there is no ice. It has been culled into, and then it has been naturally thrown into the sun to get it killed and then been transported. So this we wanted to bring in. And the wheel of fisheries, we always believe a wheel should have all the spokes connected. So like I say, fish, fisherman, ice, handling center, capital, transport, and market. So we constitute this as a wheel. So any spoke missing here is a big catastrophe. So we see, there's no ice, again the chain is lost. So no handling center. So every district or every place where we are harvesting should have a handling center. That is where the quality of the product can be retained. And similarly, transport and market towards it. So one market creates 10x of production. So we always emphasize on these PMMSY schemes. So one big market can really bring in a lot of production. So many enterprises keep building in, and then they can really service this market. So that is one of it. And creating market avenues for an easy protein, as I said, fish ball or fish fillets. So this can be a next alternative for all of our consumption or volume increase. And I've seen a strange, last month when I was in US, this Telangana Disapora has got the strange requirement of koromata. They ask us, in every event, they ask us, where can we get koromata or, along with red meat. So for every festival, they also want to serve this, koromino or koromata. So it's a good chance that, we can really export that and create a market for this particular variety also. So in terms of market building for our own people there. And the last thing is waste to wealth. So we're all talking about the edible meat to us. Similarly, the half of it. So if I buy a fish, you get 30% yield or 50% yield. The other 50% also is a very good product for us. But we are not getting converted. So we want to emphasize on this waste to wealth for fish skin as leather, or animal feeds, guts to biomass, or pet foods, and then high value nutraceutical products also from this waste. These are the avenues where we have to create for domestic demand.
Thank you very much. So one of the things which you said is regarding the challenges is that the availability of infrastructure. You rightly addressed the need for ice facilities. I'm sure with the inauguration of the aquaculture hub this morning, while we like to, they are trying to promote more fish production, I think this also comes along with the supportive infrastructures, especially logistics, your cold chains or availability of ice, good quality ice, that also matters a lot, not a simple ice. And that's what I would like to say. Because, sometimes you also talked about the food. A few months back, when I attended a wedding near Lonavala, they have displayed a huge snow crab. Because nowadays, the affluent rich community, they would like to bring in all the different types of seafood and trying to sell it. So I asked, they brought 2 crabs, one for eating, other one on display, then eating after that. But they didn't know that they need special implements to cut those crabs. Cannot be like how we use our teeth to break it's not possible. So I asked them how much he paid. I think for the event organizer, for each crab, they need to pay 1 lakh each. I said, this is only a $30 crab in US markets. So somehow they are able to sell it, create an awareness. This is a very expensive one and all that, but they're not expensive. People may not even know how to eat that particular crab. That's what it is. Now, with Godavari cuts, what do you think, what are the challenges you foresee in terms of increasing the domestic consumptions of seafood?
The main challenges which we see in coming to seafood consumption is like mainly the awareness, as I said earlier. So slowly awareness campaigns are being happening on a rapid pace. So the next thing, as Mr. Kedarnath addressed, the availability of ice near the harvest centers or the coastal areas. So we have tied up with a lot of the local ice manufacturers to use RO water for our seafood packing once the harvest is done or once we participated in the auction near the coastal areas. So with the
And you have to sell frozen. And the other way of selling it is fresh. If you look at the way shrimp is cultured, it's cultured in all the direction today. I mean, you have shrimp culture happening up north, Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan, and you have anyway in south, east, west, every direction you have. And you have urban populations within the vicinity of culture areas. So it can be sold fresh as well. You know, for that you need to have market. And again, farmers have to form cooperatives. It's like a precursor for my next session. Why I'm saying they have to form cooperatives to sell. A farmer cannot sell shrimp on a daily basis because he harvests once in a while, you know, probably once in 2 months, if not 4 months, if he's doing partial. So if he has to sell daily, you have to make it available, to make it a habit. So to make it available every day, farmers have to form a cooperative and sell together. And for that, they need to have markets. So probably government should give some space for the farmers' markets for fish and shrimp. I mean, if they come up with farmer market for fish and shrimp, farmers can directly sell in the farmer market and do away with the middleman. And it would be much more profitable to the farmer and also sustainable. And the other way of selling it is frozen. So you need to have better cold chain infrastructure. And if shrimps have to be sold in frozen form, exporters are the ones who have to come forward because part of cold chain infrastructure is already there with them. They have the insulated vans, refrigerated vehicles. They have the processing plants. I mean, at the production end, I mean, they need to establish small cold storages at the marketplace.
Experience in last 4 years with Zingalala, sir. Because many people talk about many things, but
That's what I want to know, because when people come to restaurant, they'll ask you.
Yeah, because I will tell you first thing. The notion of that shrimp is a costly affair. Second, this notion between fresh and frozen. Still, people think that fresh, shabbily available in the market is much. We have to change that norm. Frozen is the new fresh. Third important thing is the price. I will tell you right now also, sitting here, you Google, and anybody, I'm not going against anybody, but anybody who is into a domestic player is selling average 1.5 rupees per gram to 2.5 rupees, means 1,1700 rupees kilo to 2,500 rupees a kilo. And in that also, PDTO minimum 40% glaze. And that too rejected second grade. So this has created a large impact on the consumers, almost like 10-20 years, and this has been happening. Surprisingly, if you see doctors, MD, physicians, they say, oh, shrimp is with very high cholesterol. But they never say this is one of the good cholesterols. So these all things are really affected the consumer's acceptance of shrimp. I will tell you with my experience. Now we started medium, large, jumbo. 60-70 count, 50-60 count, and 35-40 count. The price, even minimum glaze of 5 to 10%, we kept price 750, 950, and 1,200 rupees. Right now, every month, I am not able to supply, as Ravi said, because one farmer cannot produce 12 months. The group of farmers are needed. That's what I said. Zingalala example is not for me, it's for area-specific farmers. You will believe me, even Surat today, I'm so proud, with our good effort in last 7-8 years, Surat hardly used to, not even knowing the consumption of shrimp, is consuming 5 to 6 ton daily venom now. Imagine Mumbai, Kolaba, Crawford market, minimum 200 ton per day. What kind of consumption it is? India has roughly 766 districts. And the biggest mistake what we domestic people are trying to do is only harping the 66 coastal districts where shrimps are easily available in the market. When the shrimps are available at 350, 400 rupees in the local market, who is going to touch your frozen for 2,500 rupees a kilo? So I think scampi, monodon, venami, all can exist together.
But do you see any customers asking you specifically what shrimp is this when they order
sir.
for it?
Definitely, my experience in 2013 with Haryana, when first time we have grown in Rohtak center and tried to put it into the nearby market, दो तीन लोग आके बोले, oh, ये तो cockroach है, cockroach लग रहा है. But that kind of awareness is there. Nothing was there. But now today things have changed. And especially what I am telling you, people, if you really give them shrimp, now today with my Zingalala experience, I will tell you, I was like, there was like tears in my eyes. I was so emotional. Even with 20, 30 crore rupees shrimp also we produced, I didn't get that happiness. From Vasai, a family came to Zingalala and they specially met me and they said, every month now, Saturday, Sunday, we are coming here in Zingalala to eat your good food because we go to some restaurant in Mumbai, 6 shrimps will cost us 2,500 rupees. One family, it will cost 10,000 rupees. And in just 2,000 rupees, we are happily eating here and taking parcel for Sunday.
Yeah, this is to take on what with Godavari Cuts is doing about pricing. The right pricing of the product
I think,
also very
sir,
important.
the price is the very important thing. And as I said, the confusion between fresh and frozen, and I think that can be really created through awareness and practice, I think.
No, Mr. Kedarnath, I would like to pick your mind on very important topic.
What you said is right. Fresh is frozen is always best. But concern is we are all blessed with freshness. Right from our child age, there was no refrigerators. You milk the cow and immediately you consume it. You cut a fish, immediately cook it. Meat, everything. After all, you just salt it for an extension. That's all that was available. But now frozen came in, and then frozen scenarios have competed a lot. But even now, given a chance, we'll go to a fresh market, fresh vegetables, fresh fruits, and fresh fish. So probably I don't see in this decade or even in this generation really people look at frozen as an alternative, or frozen will be on, only the consumption matrix. But for sure, because fresh is available. We are, it is every corner you can, it's village panchayat tanks or rivers or everywhere fresh is available. So I feel that fresh only can really sell than frozen for our mindsets.